They done told me once, then they told me twice. Now I got 3 strikes, but I feel like $1,000,000. Hey, what's the word? Welcome to the next episode of Sunday Sidecar, the series where we get all outfitted with zero fucks about last week's Tuesday Ukeday drop from yours truly, Uke Brute. This week's episode, Live Long and Rock Well. I feel like it's a fitting song to end these 2024 Tuesday Ukeday and corresponding Sunday Sidecar series. 53 episodes every Tuesday for the most part, and every, I think a couple Wednesdays and every Sunday. I think there might have been 1 or 2 Mondays, but we knocked them out. And I thank you all for tuning in for these really unexpected views and watch times and click-throughs. And I was like, wow. You know, I did this mostly for posterity, for myself, just to keep them up and to share with a few friends. And I was kind of surprised that it got a lot more views than I thought. So really, thank you all who tuned in, who enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy, hey, it's cool too. I don't mind. But yeah, it was kind of, I got more than 3,000 views and close to 75 hours of watch time for 2024. And so I really appreciate that. And I thank you all. And I cheers to you all. We're going back to the true roots of the Sunday Sidecar series. So thank you all and cheers. And a little bit of a chaser for that. Doesn't need it, but just to have it. Yeah, so, the original idea behind the Sunday Sidecar, it was, a couple 2 different friends who had mentioned when I told them about, I'm going to be embarking on this really dumb Tuesday Ukeday challenge of publishing a new Tuesday or a new Uke song every Tuesday, and they mentioned both of them kind of on their own, independently of each other. We're like, well, you should consider doing, a video alongside of it, or, talking about the song a little bit, or your creative process, behind the song, the meaning behind the song lyrics, or just something to give it some humanity, engage a little bit. And since they had both mentioned it, and I respect their opinion, I was like, it's not a bad idea. I didn't want to do it as part of the song. I wanted to keep the song, separate and isolated, so you can just listen to it and jam out to it, or quickly click out of it if you're so inclined. And so I didn't want to, especially if you have like a playlist, if you want to listen to a few of them in a row, you're not interrupted by any type of my nasally mumblings. And so I decided, I'm going to do a separate video. And then I'm like, well, when am I going to publish that video? How am I going to do that? And that's when I came up with the idea for the Sunday Sidecar. And the original intent for these videos on the Sunday Sidecar was to have a, little sidecar and, beer in a sidecar, essentially. Today we got the Lagunitas daytime. It is technically still daytime here in the cold, wintry months. This is a crisp session IPA, only 4.0% ABV, 3 carbs and 98 calories? Sure, why not? And in the drink here, we have a Bullet Bourbon Neat, although it is in a maker's glass that I dipped and made myself at the Maker's Mark Distillery. But yeah, the original idea was to do that. And those first couple videos, though, were kind of tricky to get out on the first take. I've gotten a lot better at these, more or less, at least where I feel satisfied doing them in one take. And those first couple videos, especially for the first one, I must have reshot that video 5, 6, 7 times maybe. Come up with the intro, just kind of going through. I'm not really used to speaking to a camera like this, and it's kind of it's gotten a little better, more comes with a little bit more ease nowadays. But those first couple videos were really tough, and as I was doing that, I went through several, because I wanted to do the sidecar and just have a part of the video. So I went through several, shooters of bourbon and probably a few beers at the same time. And I was pretty drunk in those first couple videos. I don't know if any of you all noticed. I'm sure all you very keen, astute viewers out there who have watched those first probably 2 or 3 videos, you might have realized, like, man, this guy seems a little just drunker than a normal person. But yeah, that was originally. Then I realized that's probably a bad idea. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be drunk on these videos because they're not, it's not really working out. I should probably try a different tack. And so I, pretty much sober for all of these videos, barring some type of, afternoon brunch or, dinner or something with friends or family where I may have had a few drinks. But for the return to the last one, like I said, we'll have I might as well cheers again to that. Okay, so that is, so that's just a little backstory there about this. Sorry for the pitter patter of the Scrapster back there. But yeah, so I guess, and just kind of do a little recap of the original Uke Brute origin story, since we did a little recap of the Tuesday Ukeday, or at least Sunday Sidecar series, but the Tuesday Ukeday series, I guess we can do a little brief recap of the origin. I think we touched on it in that first or second video. I don't really know if we touched on it since, but it's essentially, I had a bunch of songs written up, and I wanted to write, I wanted to share them. They're all original Uke Brute songs, lyrics and melodies. I don't know how to play many other songs, so maybe there's a chance. I've heard somebody else, or it's the same chord progression or something, but I feel like if that does happen, it's coincidence, because again, I don't know how to play many other songs. I probably know about 10, and I don't even know them really. I just know, like, I've tried to play them in the past. And so I had, these songs I just want to share as part of the, collective catalog of ukulele songs. They're brutal, I understand, and they're open for better interpretation, as it notes in the description for this page. And, you're also going to have to use your imagination. But I wanted to, get these songs out. I had a little more than 50 songs, 60 songs, probably more than 60. As I was going through the playlist of songs, though, obviously I don't, know them all off the top of my head. They're all written over the past year or so, year and a half. At this point, it's probably 2 years ago. But I didn't have them all memorized. And a lot of times, I'd play them, move on to the next one, and for some of them, it was months, close to a year since I played them last. And so when I was coming through them in the catalog, there's quite a few songs that came across that I'm like, I don't know how to play this anymore, and I didn't take a video. There's no notes or anything, and so I either had to try to relearn it, which I couldn't for some of them, or come up with something new. So, there's lots of new songs in the 2024. Well, lots of songs that were written in 2024 as part of the Uke Brute Tuesday Ukeday catalog. And I note those in this corresponding Sunday Sidecar video if it was written in 2024 or just in general when it was written. And it goes back to kind of like, we can circle back to the brief recap of the Uke Brute origin. It was several years ago at this point, probably the close was pre-COVID. I think like the summer before COVID. So was that 2016 maybe? No, that wasn't 2016 at all. It was like 2019. So yeah, probably like 2019 or so. I had a road trip planned with some friends along the west coast of the U.S. and I was like, man, it'd be cool to like pick up a ukulele, learn how to play, and as we stopped along, play some songs, because we all know when someone just randomly pulls out an acoustic instrument to play that they're not very good at playing. Everyone just loves that, right? And I know my friends would love it the most. And I never got around to it. It was kind of in the back of my head, but I was busy and I just didn't have time. I might have even like looked up some, just to price some, but it was nothing really, like wasn't going out of my way to get them. And then at one point a few months later, I was at my parents' house, and I noticed there was a ukulele chord book sitting on my stepfather's piano bench. He's a great musician, he's an amazing musician. And I was like, oh, pick up a ukulele, playing that now, something to add to your repertoire of instruments that you can play. He was like, no, your mother wanted one, so I got her one in the chord book, but she doesn't want to play because it hurts her fingers, they get blistery. I was like, so what are you doing with it? And he's like, it's just kind of sitting there. I was like, well, what a coincidence. I was just thinking of maybe perhaps get one. And he's like, you want it? Take it. And that's where we got old Betsy here. It's a little Oscar Schmidt concert. I've been looking into tenors lately, so I had to stop for it just to make sure I knew what I was talking about. Yeah, this is an Oscar Schmidt tenor. Or I'm sorry, concert. And I love her. She's great. And so, it took a while. Like, everything's been self-learned. At the time, he taught me how to play, G, F, C. So, but that G was just getting that finger shape down was so weird and wonky at first. And so mostly, I was just playing around with the F and the C, but just trying to get the strum down. And as I'm sure anyone who actually plays ukulele or is familiar with how you play it, and, I clearly don't play it how you're supposed to, just because, again, it was self-taught. And I didn't. And, you're supposed to keep your fingers light and loose, and it's kind of. But I like to keep the heel of my palm planted here, as you can. But that's kind of just the technique I came up with. And again, I just kind of taught myself the chords as I went along, just kind of watched videos. And, I quickly learned that the songs were either way too simple, you would just be, And there's nothing wrong with simple songs. Simple songs are great. If they have a great melody, if they, capture you, there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted something a little more. And a lot of the adaptations that you hear or you try to play, they're either, way too simple, or they're way too above my skill grade. They're still above my skill grade. I can't, anything that goes below this 5th fret, chances are, or anything with a lot of pinkies, I need like 5, 6, 7 pinkies going at this. Anything with, a lot of pinky action, it's going to not get down with me, or I'm not going to get down with it. We ain't just going to get down. And so I just kind of, was like, I'm going to write my own songs. And that's when I just decided to start doing that. And, that's kind of here we are. Sorry, just doing like a quick recap, because since this is, the final episode for the series, I just want to, catch some folks up in case they haven't seen the first one, or one of the other few times I might have mentioned the Uke Brute origin story. It's like in comic books, you got to retell your origin story every now and then to keep, people abreast of the situation. We're not going to go into like a recap every single episode, and we're not going to go that route. But anyways, maybe I should probably get into the actual song we're discussing this week, and it is the Live Long and Rock Well song. I thought it was fitting for the final song. It's kind of like a farewell in some ways, as a parting goodbye. Live long and rock well. Only to an extent, though, because at the same time, the song's not really meant for. Well, maybe it works both ways, but it's not really meant for this general, like a expression of for friends or common, acquaintances or anything like that. It's more of like a song for the haters and the naysayers and those want to chop down the poppy or the tall poppy. That it's like the song is about those who just either kind of keep you down or don't want to help you or just don't think you can do it. Not that it's directed towards anyone in specific. It's just kind of more of a general sense, like, hey, like, fuck y'all, fuck your haters. I'm just going to keep on doing me, and I'm going to keep on, doing what it needs to be done to, fulfill whatever, motivation, goals, momentum you might have. And that's what the song comes down to. And, sometimes you do get a few strikes, but it shouldn't hold you down. You can still feel like $1,000,000. And so that's, mostly what this song is. And even like the refrains though too, it's more of like, but like, hey, if you're paying, like, I'm just saying I won't be a stranger if you're paying for drinks and entertainers. Live long and rock well. And it's kind of like a, bless your heart type of quote, I would say, live long and rock well. Maybe we should have like a secret word every time we say the title of the song after drink. But just kind of like live long and rock well. Obviously it's kind of a play on the Vulcan, live long and prosper, but it's more of a contemporary pop culture, I guess. What live long and prosper is very pop culture. Anyway, everyone can whatever. It's just a live long and rock well, kind of like a fare thee well type of thing. Just bless your heart and just keep on doing you, and I'll just keep on doing me. And that's basically what the song comes down to. Very simple chord progression. I don't know these chords that makes it up, but it's essentially the G, and you just kind of start at the top of with your index finger, and then drop in the other three fingers to fill out the G as you're doing it. You do that twice, and that's the refrain, just that over, And then you, for the refrain, it goes into a D, and then I believe it's a D7. You just drop your pinky onto that third string, third fret. And just do that a couple times. And you slide into, I don't know if this is maybe like it's essentially the G with your pinky on the C string, but this way it slides it over. You lift up your index finger, and then just do like the tip of the G, the point, like the arrowhead, and then finish in G, and that's it. And again, it's just kind of like a go do you, I'll do me, because I don't give a fuck. We're outfitted with zero fucks, as we mentioned in the opener. And again, it's kind of, just for the haters, naysayers, call it tall poppy syndrome, where poppy gets too tall. You have to cut it down. It's way like people like kind of hold others down, whether because they don't want you to succeed and everyone needs to be down, at the same level. Crab in the bucket phrase, kind of similar to that, all the crabs. I don't know if the phrase is actually true, like if crabs really do this or not, I'm not sure. I just know the phrase where, if crabs are in a bucket, if one's trying to escape, the other ones just kind of pull it down with the rest of them. And it's that kind of mentality. Also an amazing song by Chaos, K-O-S, Crab Bucket. Check out the crab in the bucket. Check it out. It's a great song. Chaos. So that's this jam. That's live long and rock well. And I hope you all do. Not just the Nate. I was gonna say naysayers. Not just the haters, naysayers, crab in the bucket, tall poppy folk. Everyone live long and rock well, because it does apply across the board, regardless. And it is whether you want to say it sardonically or earnestly. Live long and rock well. So once again, I just want to thank everyone truly who's watched in, linked in, viewed in, whatever you want to call it, to any of the songs, any of the Sunday Sidecar series, which surprisingly really performed a lot better than I thought they would. Most of them I just were kind of, doing those videos to direct people to the songs, be like, hey, here's the song, go check it out too as well. And it's surprisingly, a lot of them got a lot more views a lot of the Sunday Sidecars got more views than the actual songs themselves. I can see how long y'all watch them on average, so I know a lot of y'all not watch them all the way through, and I realize people are probably just clicking on them, saying, this is fucking nonsense, and clicking out. Cool. I would probably do the same thing. But yeah, it was just kind of interesting to see that play out. Very interesting. For the future of the Uke Brute channel, naturally, I will still be brutalizing ukulele songs, continuing out. I don't know how I'm going to be presenting them. Obviously, I will not be doing another year's worth of Tuesday Ukeday. Wish I could. I just don't have that many songs ready to go. I do have some more songs. I actually just wrote a new one last night. I haven't picked up the uke over the holidays at all, other than for these videos, shows, I think. And so it was nice to get back into it last night and write a new song. No, that's not it. I was trying to think of it. Yeah, I won't even worry about that. But so I'm obviously still going to be releasing songs. There's a few songs that I didn't get to on the playlist of songs or the catalog of songs that I wanted to add to this Tuesday Ukeday series. Largely because I can't remember how to play them, or they're just not that good. You think some of these songs are bad. See what I kept off. But I'm still going to revisit them, try to refigure out how to play them. Yeah, that works. And ideally, hopefully, revisit them. There were quite a few songs, as I mentioned in a few videos ago, that I want to give another go at, another rebrutalization for. Just because I think like they just didn't tackle them, or I didn't present them as well as I wanted to. So keep an eye out for those, perhaps. Even like older songs in my catalog as well, I want to revisit as some of like the very older songs that I think can do well. Like you just saw recently, if you did, the Longest Night of the Year, Rebrutalization. I got a lot of views. I actually had some of my highest views recently, so thank you guys all for like that late in the year, even though it wasn't a Tuesday Ukeday series. So interesting. Cheers. And yeah, so I may even do some brutalization covers. Obviously on this channel, everything is original so far. And so I'm not sure. There's a few songs though recently I was playing around with, and I was like doing brutal, Uke Brute versions, and I thought they sounded pretty decent. So maybe something we're gonna tackle, maybe like a certain playlist. That being said, I don't know if I'm going to be releasing just one-off ditties here and there, or if I'm going to go back to my original format and save up, 8 or 12 originals and add to a contained playlist. We'll see. Am I going to come back, maybe do some more Sunday Sidecars? Probably not. It's been a really interesting experience doing these. I was, like I said, I know it wasn't something I was intentionally or planning on doing. At a certain point early on, it did kind of seem very much like a chore, and I was like, do I even want to continue these? But to be honest, it's been a nice experience, and it's almost kind of a little bittersweet ending these now. Yeah, it's nice just to get away from its obligation and responsibility that you have to have done every week. But it's also kind of nice because it was almost kind of like like a Sunday column. Like, hey, here's my my thoughts for the day, whatever. And I appreciate you all for indulging me, for those of you who have, for listening to them. But yeah, so I don't really know what the future holds for Uke Brute, but we're still going to be brutalizing this poor Uke, so no worries about that. If any of you are worried, and I'm sure a lot of you are worried you're not getting new Uke Brute. But yeah, we should probably wrap this up. It's been quite a video. What are we looking at here? Oh, 23-minute mark, or almost 24-minute mark. Let's do one more cheers for all of y'all, because I really do appreciate all those who listen, and I really hope you have enjoyed. So cheers. As I said, thank you once again for making this quite the Uke brutalized year. Uke brutalized year, sure. To be honest, I really didn't know if I was going to be able to pull it off. Surprised. Not surprised, but yeah, surprised a little bit. I thought for sure I was going to not finish it. But here we are. So once again, thank you very much for all of your time. I hope you have enjoyed it. And please check back eventually for another ditty from